Hi guys, this is Yukendra and today I'll be discussing about VLOOKUP in Excel. VLOOKUP is an Excel function that is used to look for data in a table. VLOOKUP is known to be the easiest way to find values in a table which has a significant number of rows. The idea to sit and go through each and every row and column is a tedious task. This is where VLOOKUP comes in handy. In this video, we will look at the syntax of VLOOKUP function and how VLOOKUP can be used to perform various operations like exact matches, approximate matches, wildcard matching using a small dataset. For this video, I'll be using Google Sheets instead of Microsoft Excel just because Google Sheets is free and easy to collaborate with. And keep in mind that whatever formulas that are available in Excel are available in Sheets as well. Let us now go ahead with the demo. Now let us look at the definition and the syntax of VLOOKUP function. The V in the VLOOKUP function stands for vertical and it is used to look for a search for values in a table that is organized vertically. Let us look at the syntax of the VLOOKUP function. Always remember that a formula in Excel or Sheets starts with an equal to sign and the function name. Now, if you click on the help icon, you get the arguments which are supported by the VLOOKUP function. So there's search key, range, index, and is sorted. Is sorted can be also known as search options, which have two options, that is approximate and exact match. So the search key is the value which we want to search for. Range is the range to consider for that particular search. Index is the column index of a value to be returned. And the first column in the range is always numbered as 1 and so on. The is sorted argument is optional and it has two values, either true or false. When it is true, it is approximate matching, and when it is false, it is exact matching. We'll see more of that in the later part of this video. Now let us perform some operations including VLOOKUP functions. So this is the data set that we're going to be using. It is the HR data, which consists of 10 employees and their names, gender, position, salary, and the tax percentage, which we'll be using it later in this video. The 2019 day offs and the number of days off in 2020 by each employee. And there is the tax slab as well for each salary. So for 100,000, there's 5% tax. And for 110,000, there's 5.50% tax and so on. Now, if we want to look for the employee ID 1905 and this table, we can do that using the VLOOKUP function. So let's say if we want to look for the position of the employee ID 1905 and this table, we can do that using the VLOOKUP function, and it looks something like this. So the VLOOKUP function, and select the value that you want to search for. So here the value is 1905 that we can select over here, and the range now is from here till the end of this table because you want to search, or you can take it till position also, but let's just take it till the end of this table. That's A2 to I11, and then the column index. So the value of the index is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the position column is the fifth index of this whole table or the range. So let's put it as 5 there. Now you can see that the value is already given over here. Now since you want the exact match, we'll put it as false and close the bracket. So the value which we get over here is senior product technician. Let us check if this value is correct over here. So 1905, the position is senior technician. So that's correct. And now let us see how it works for the name value. So let us search for Jessica's position using the name. And the same formula is used over here as well. So that's VLOOKUP. And the value that you want to search for is this, and the range you want to search for is, let's take from the starting itself till the end of this table, and the column name is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like earlier, and now false because we want to look at the exact match. Oh, what is this? It says did not find value Jessica in the VLOOKUP evaluation. Now that is because the column which we are searching for is the second column, and the range which we've selected is, like you can see over here, the range we've selected is whole of the table. So always remember that the VLOOKUP function looks for values towards the right of the selected column. So any range which is selected towards the left of the selected column will not be available in the VLOOKUP function. So let's change that to B2 now, because that is the column which we've selected. And now the position changes to 4 because from B2, I mean the from B column, the position has the index value of 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as you can see, we got the value as area sales manager. Let us check if this is the right answer from here. So Jessica is the first name, so that's here, and then area sales manager. So that is right. And now always remember that the VLOOKUP function is case insensitive. So if you give caps over here, that will work good as well. So let us check that once. It doesn't change. So that conveys that the VLOOKUP function is case insensitive. Many people don't know this, but yeah. Now another way we can use VLOOKUP function is to find the first occurring value of a table. So let's say here we can see that there are 2 Michaels in the first name. Always remember that the VLOOKUP function always gives the first occurrence of that value. So let's see if this works out fine. Now, if we want to get the salary of the first Michael, that is Michael Riordan, so the salary is around 123,500. So let's check that now. So the VLOOKUP function will look like this. Of the value which we want to select is this, and then this, and the range which we want to look at is from here, like we already discussed earlier, here till salary maybe. So the position or the index, column index is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since we want the exact match, it is taken as false. So here you can see that the salary is 123,500 like we discussed earlier. Now we can look at the exact match which we've already discussed earlier. So if you want to, get the employee ID of say 1908, which is Michael. So if you want to get this first name of that particular person, we can do that using the VLOOKUP function only. So that's VLOOKUP and selected value is this C15, and the range is from starting, since the first column is 1908, till you can take it, since we have till salary, let us take it till salary. And then the position of the first name is the second column, so that's second column. As you can see, we already have Michael over here, and that's false now. Now using the first name, we can find the last name as well, and keep in mind that it gives you the value of the first occurrence of Michael. So here it will be Riordan, so we don't want that now. So let's take the employee ID as the search value itself. So last name will be same VLOOKUP function of the search value is 1908, and then the range is from here till here, and the column name we want is 3, so that's ABC 1, 2, 3, and now we have Albert, so that's correct. We'll cancel this because it's not needed right now. So here we have Michael and Albert using the employee ID as the exact match which we want to perform. Now coming to the approximate matching using VLOOKUP. Here we have salaries and the tax slabs for each salary. So here we have 100,000 and the tax slab for 100,000 is 5%, and for 110,000 it's 5.50%. Now let us populate this tax percent column using these values. Now here we can see that this value is not present over here, and let us see how VLOOKUP approximates this tax slab for this particular value. So here the VLOOKUP function will look something like this. VLOOKUP, and the value which you want to look up for is this value, and the range will be here till here. So that's L2 to M7, and the column which you want to populate over here is the tax percentage, which is 1 and 2. And since we are looking for approximate values, the argument over here will be true. So here we can see that the tax percentage for 100,000 is 5%. Let us use fill handle to, fill these values as well. Oh, what is this? So now here we can see that some values over here are not available in the VLOOKUP function. So to solve this, instead of using normal cell reference, we'll use the absolute cell reference for this range. So that will be using the $sign over here. Now let us do this first. Let us change this formula to absolute cell reference. So that will be $L, $2, $M, $7. And now let us check if this works out fine. Yeah, so here you can see that it turned out perfectly fine. And for 124,500, it is taken as 6% because it looks up vertically down the line, and keep in mind that these values must be sorted as in ascending order. So here it look downwards to 120,000 and goes to 130,000. Now since 124,500 is between 120,000 and 130,000, it gives the least value out of those to 124,500. So if you look over here, 120,000 has 6% tax, and over here it is given 6% tax. Now we can use wildcards also to give a particular value or to get a particular value. So here let's take Jessica for example. Here there's only one Jessica in this first name column, so let us take Jess instead of Jessica. And now we'll get not available because we haven't used the wildcard yet. So the wildcard function or the VLOOKUP function with a wildcard looks something like this. So that will be H18, and since Jess is in the starting of the name Jessica, so the wildcard will come after Jess. So to use a wildcard, we use the asterisk symbol with double quotes, and rest all the function looks the same. So now if you press enter, you'll get the value as area sales manager. So that is correct. And now if you want to use the last letters of a first name, we can use that as well using the wildcard at the beginning of the name. So let's say if you want Ika, and this will change to not available again. So now this wildcard comes to the beginning of the name. So that looks something like this, star asterisk, and then now we get the value again as area sales manager. So this is how you use a wildcard in VLOOKUP function. Now coming to the multiple criterion. So in VLOOKUP we can use two values and make a helper column to look for a particular value in a table. So here, since there are two Michaels, we can't go about looking for the second Michael's salary using VLOOKUP table. So let's use the helper column to do that. So the helper column should be put before the first name and the last name. So let's insert a column over here. Insert a column towards the left, and let's delete this. Okay, now let us name this as helper column. Okay. Okay, this VLOOKUP value, we need to change it to C2 now. 15, and that'll be 3. And last name will be 4. Let's cancel this like earlier. And now the helper column value will be equals to this space, and we give spaces, and this. So you give and space and this, select this now. So now we can see that the value over here is Maria Gonzalez. So we'll use the fill handler to fill the rest values. So like we see over here, we have Michael Albert, which is in the same column. So now we can use this column to find out the salary of Michael Albert. So let's use the helper column. So VLOOKUP of, since we want to look for this value, it will be Michael Albert, this column, and the range which we want to search for is over here, and the number of the index column index will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now the value is false since we are looking for the exact value. So as you can see, Michael Albert's salary is 150,000 USD. So that is what is given over here. So this is how we use the multiple criterion using the helper column. Combine two columns to find a value of that particular person. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you're clear with the concept of VLOOKUP function. We have looked at the various operations such as exact match, appropriate matches, multiple criterion matches, and how to use wildcards to simplify your search. If you guys liked this video, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Hello guys, this is Yugendra, and today I'll be talking about HLOOKUP in Excel with a small demo. HLOOKUP is an Excel function that is used to look for data in a table. If a table which is organized horizontally has a significant number of rows, like say 1,000 or more, then I must say this is where HLOOKUP makes a job easier to look for values. In this video, we will look at the syntax of HLOOKUP function and how HLOOKUP can be used to perform various operations using a small data set. For this video, I'll be using Google Sheets instead of Microsoft Excel just because it is free and easy to collaborate. And keep in mind that whatever formulas that are available in Excel are available in Sheets as well. Let us now go ahead with the demo. Now let us look at the definition and the syntax of the HLOOKUP function. The H in HLOOKUP stands for horizontal, and it is used to search or look for values in a table that is organized horizontally. Coming to the syntax of the HLOOKUP function, always remember that a function in Excel or Sheets starts with an equal to symbol and the function name. Over here is HLOOKUP. And now if you click on the help icon, you'll get the arguments which are supported by the HLOOKUP function. So there's search key, range, index, and is sorted. Is sorted is an optional argument. By default, the value of is sorted is true or 1. Search key is the value that we have to search for. Range is the range that we want to consider for the search. The first row in the range is search for the key specified in search key. Index is the row index of the value that we have to return. The first row in the range is numbered as 1 and so on. The is sorted or the search options argument is to convey the type of search that we want to perform on the table. So there are two types of searches. One is exact match and the other one is approximate match. Approximate match is when the argument is true or 1, and the exact match is when the argument is 0. Now let us look at the data set that will be performing our HLOOKUP function on. So here's the sample data set that we will be using today. So this is the number of units sold by each employee, which is the sales data set. So here we have the months of each year from January till December and the names of the employees and the number of units they've sold in each month. So, and there's the total units sold as well. Here we have the bonuses in rupees, which is an empty row. This will be calculating in the later part of this video. And here we have the total number of units sold and the respective bonuses in rupees. So for 100, the rupees in bonus is 0. And for 150, the rupees in bonuses is 0. And so on until 350, the total number of units sold is 350 and the rupees in bonus is 60,000. So now let us move on to some basic operations using the HLOOKUP function. Let's say if you want to find the total number of sales done by Kathy in the month of August, that can be done using the HLOOKUP function. So here, it's HLOOKUP function. And then the value that you want to search for. So let's say Kathy. And the range is the whole of this table. So from here till the end row until December. So that is H14, A2 to H14. And the row index will be August. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because the index always starts from the starting of the range. And now since it's exact, we'll keep it as 0 itself. So that's 0. Now if you press enter, the value is 18. Let us see if this is correct. So Kathy is over here. August month is over here. So the number of units sold by Kathy in the month of August is 18. Now this is using a string. The HLOOKUP function here is using a string as a reference. We can use a cell as a reference also. That can be done using this way. So let's remove the string over here. Now instead of giving a string as an argument, let us select the Kathy row itself or the column. So now the cell reference is D2 over here. Let us look at the value that we'll be getting. The value doesn't change at all. So this can be done in two ways. One is using a string and the other is using a cell reference, which is D2 over here. Now always remember that HLOOKUP function gives the first occurrence of a particular value. So let us try using the string again. So here let us give it as Kathy. Let's edit over here itself. So now you can see that the first occurrence of Kathy is over here and the number of sales done in the August month is 18. So what if we want to get the value of this Kathy? So that can be done by using an extra character, like say the initial of Kathy 2. So that's R maybe. And here you can give it as Kathy R. Now if you want to change the value over here, instead of Kathy, give it as Kathy R in the string. Now, as you can see, the number of units sold by Kathy R in the month of August is 25, which is over here. Now, always remember that the HLOOKUP function in Excel or Sheets is a case insensitive function. We'll look at the example of that using this name. So, Kathy R, let us change it to lowercase sensitive. So, that's smaller letters. Kathy R. And now as you can see, the value for August doesn't change over here. Let us see if it's the same value for Kathy R. So August, it says 25. So it does not change at all. Now this can also be done using a combination of lowercase and uppercase characters. So that will be C, small a, capital T, H, Y, and R, and still the value doesn't change. So this means that the HLOOKUP function in Excel is case insensitive. Now let us fill these values using HLOOKUP function and the fill handler. So for April, Charles, the number of units sold by Charles is over here, it's 24. So we need to get 24 over here. So that will be HLOOKUP, and the search value is Charles. The range will be from B2 to H14. And since we want this range to be constant for all the values, we can use dollar symbol before the cell values. So the dollar symbol here indicates that it's the absolute cell reference. It won't change no matter what. So if we use fill handler to fill the rest of the values, the range doesn't change for those values as well. And the row index will be 5 since it's April. So here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So April, it's going to be 5. And now since it's exact match, the search option will be false. Let us see what the value is, 24. So that's right. And for July, the index changes. So we'll have to fill that manually. So that will be, let's copy this formula over here, and then use it and change the row index to 8. Change the row index to 8. So that will be 14. And for August, it's going to be 9. The row index will be 9. Now using these three values, you can fill these values also using the fill handler. So that will be drag and drop, go to the corner of the right hand side and then drag the cursor. So you'll get the value. So it says did not find value 31 in the HLOOKUP function. So that means it is searching for E2 over here itself. So that's it is searching for Charles. So that will be, instead of Charles, we'll be using Daniel. So that's G2 instead of E2. I think I've selected the Charles column itself. So let us look over here and then change it to G2 instead of E3. Now as you can see that the value is 16 over here. Let us change this to, let us use fill handler to fill these values. So it'll be 40 for the month of July. Let us see if it's 40 for the month of July. No, it isn't. So let us see what seems to be wrong over here. Okay, instead of G2, it is taken H2. So let's change it to G2 again. And since it's the month of July, it is going to be 8. The row index is going to be 8. So now the value is 22. Let us see if that is right. So for the month of July, Daniel has made 22 units of sales. So here, let us change it to G2 again. And then the value over here, the row index over here is going to be 9 for the month of August. As you can see that the values are filled over here. And now we can use wildcards also to, match using the HLOOKUP function. So for Charles, let us say if you want to get the value of Charles for the month of April. So, let us change this to October to, get the values. They'll be different. And since you want it for October, let us change it to, let's say over here, instead of E2, let us use Y character instead. So that's going to be, let's say char. And since we are using the Y character, let us say a star or an asterisk. So that means the first 4 characters that we're searching for is char, and it can be superseded by any number of characters. So since we're looking for Charles, it is superseded by LES. So let us see if this function works. Since we're looking for the month of October, let us change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So since the row index is 11, let us see what the output is. So it says 33. Let us check if this value is the same as this value. So the month of October, Charles has made 33 units of sales. So yeah, we can see that the wildcard matching also works. So let us do that for Daniel as well. So it'll be, instead of this, it'll be, let's say, let us use the wildcard at the beginning of the character now. So that will be star and ampersand and the last three characters, let's say IEL. Let us see if this works now. Since it's the month of October, the row index changes to 11 like we discussed earlier. So let us see now. Here the value is 20. Let us see what the value for the month of October is for Daniel. So for the month of October, as you can see, the number of units sold by Daniel is 20. Now coming to this value, which is bonuses in rupees, we'll be calculating this for all the employees using this column or the row. So here we have the total units sold and the bonus in rupees for the corresponding total units sold. So here we'll be using the approximate matching instead of the exact matching. So let us use the horizontal lookup function to fill these values. So it'll be HLOOKUP and the value that you want to search for. So it'll be 303. Range is here. So it'll be from 100 till this value. And you can use it as an absolute cell reference because it will be the same for every value or every total unit sold. So it will be $G, $21. And then since you want to look at the bonuses in rupees, so it is the second row that we want over here. So that will be 2 over here. The row index will be 2. And since we are looking for the approximate match, we can take the value as true. So you can see that the total number of units sold is 303 over here. So what horizontal lookup does is, and remember that these values have to be sorted in ascending order. So the bonus in rupees, the total units sold have to be sorted in ascending order, no matter what. That's how the HLOOKUP serves through the values. So over here you can see 100, 150, 200, which is sorted in ascending order. So what HLOOKUP does is it goes through each and every value from the starting, and once it goes to 300, it will go to next value, which is 350. Since the value of 303 comes between 300 and 350, it will give the value 300, the value of 300 to this value. So that's 50,000 to the value 303. Let us fill this for all the other columns using the fill handler. Now let us check if 30,000 is the correct value for the total units sold, which is 292. So here HLOOKUP, what it does is it scans through every column. So from 100 till 300 because it is close to 292. So and then since 292 is less than 300, it scans, it goes to the previous column and assigns that value to 292. So the value which is getting assigned to 292 is the value of 250. So for 250, the bonus in rupees is 30,000. That is what is being assigned over here. Now let us check the same thing for 316. So HLOOKUP, what it does is it scans until 350 because the value of 316 is between 300 and 350. And then what it does is assigns the previous column's value, which is 50,000, to the value 316. And the approximate matching works only if these values are sorted in ascending order. So here you can see that the values are being sorted in ascending order from 100 to 350. And this is how the approximate matching in HLOOKUP is being done. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you're clear with the concept of HLOOKUP function. We have looked at the various operations such as exact match, approximate matches, and how to use wildcards to simplify our search. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you and keep learning.